If you want to share the mental load with your husband this year and build a more equitable partnership, then you're going to have to let him fail. And I know that's really hard to do. It's hard to watch someone fail at something that you're really good at, but you're going to have to let it happen. Hi, I'm Paige. I talk a lot about the mental load and the unequal division of labor between men and women in parenting. And each week I'm going to be sharing one small shift you can make to build a more equitable partnership with your husband so that ultimately you can be happier, healthier, and build a more sustainable relationship. And this week we are talking about letting our husbands fail because this is so hard to do, to hand them a task that you have done forever and to watch them fail so miserably at it, but we have to let it happen. Now, I want to state first and foremost that when we're trying to build a more equitable partnership and teach our partners about the mental load, there's often a lot of feelings involved. You might feel a lot of frustration or resentment towards your partner because you're carrying too much on your own and they simply don't see it. And so when you hand them a task and they don't do it correctly, it can bring a lot of that to the surface and it can ultimately lead to fighting, which we don't want. So when we're talking about letting our partners fail, we want to have tasks in place that we can transfer over to our partner over time that are not high stakes with huge consequences attached, right? If they fail, there's no major consequence, but it can be a good learning opportunity. When you're first starting this work, you want to start off with low stakes tasks like dinner, for example. Worst case scenario, you pass off dinner to your husband and he burns it and it's inedible, or he makes something that every kid hates and he gets to hear them whining about it all night long. And he's going to experience what you've probably experienced at one point or another. Because part of this work is teaching our partners what it looks like to carry the mental load and complete a task all the way through to be the full owner of it and experience the consequences of it going wrong. And the reason I say that is because chances are, as a wife and mother, you have failed at something along the way too. The reason so many of us are so good at what we do as moms and partners is because we've been working really hard at it for a very long time. We have tried things, we have failed at things, we have learned from them, we have perfected our technique and our strategy over time. We now know how to do the laundry in the most efficient way because we've been doing it for 5-10 years, whatever it is. And so of course we are better at it than our partners, and it's really hard to watch them do something that we're really good at and do it very badly. But we have to have space for them to learn and to grow and to fail and to do it on their own, especially if they're going to be the true owner of this. Now, I do want to state for the record that we have no tolerance for weaponizing confidence here. So we're talking about men who are showing up with good intent, who are trying to do a good job. We have to give them space to try. Now, I will say, I think it's great to have conversations with our partners and share what we know, right? Say, hey, I've been cooking dinner for a really long time. I know the kids hate this. They really like this. This meal is always a winner when we have a busy night. And sharing that information is hugely helpful to our partners. But we also have to give them room to fail at things. This is also how they learn the mental load, because when they fail, they start to understand the full picture, the mental load, how you need to know what's in the pantry and what's in the fridge and what the kids like, what they don't like, what's expiring, what's on the grocery list. Like, they start to learn all of those things as it relates to dinner simply by letting them fail. So if you want to build a more equitable partnership this year and share the mental load with your husband, I suggest letting him fail. And in my next video, I will share with you a real life example of how I let my husband fail at certain tasks and what we learned from it.